Marketing Your Private Practice is a podcast where you'll learn easy to implement tips and strategies to grow your business without spending all day online. I'm your host, Colaiacovo, and I teach practitioners the Thrive marketing method to create simple and streamlined plans by focusing on long-term strategies, not just social media. Discover ways to spend less time on your marketing, attract more clients, and build the financial freedom that comes with a thriving practice. One where you have time left in your day for the people and things that matter to you. Hey, private practice heroes, it's Colaiacovo, and thanks for tuning into the podcast today. I want to kick off by telling you that what I want to do today is help you get on that path to being the hero I know you are to your clients, so that you can get out there and help more of those people who need your services. And we're going to start today by kicking off a series of lessons on the 4 pillars of marketing a practice or a service-based business. For a quick refresh on these, they are your foundations, your messaging, your content, and your systems. And they're the 4 pillars I mentioned not too long ago in episode 131, where I shared the reason why one day I actually told a client to stop doing all of her marketing right now, immediately. She was missing so many elements in her pillars for marketing, elements that are intended to help marketing get results. And instead, she was literally wasting everything she was doing. She was wasting time, she was wasting money, and every dollar she was paying her VA was going right down the drain. Now, if you've been thinking yourself that maybe your marketing is not working the way it should be, if you've been seeing a decline in calls or consult requests, even client bookings, it might be time for you to do the same thing I did with that client, which is to check your marketing foundations. And these are pillar number 1 of marketing your practice or your business. Foundations are often one of the main reasons things aren't working the way people in practice and business owners think they should be. I had a client once who, after one of our sessions together, she went off and fixed 2 of the 10 marketing foundations. And the next day, she kept sending me texts. Every time somebody was reaching out and booking a call with her, I was getting a text. 5 people reached out within 24 hours because she made these changes I suggested. Foundations matter a lot when it comes to your marketing. Another client of mine, when she did her review with me and did her roadmap session, she went off and did some fix-ups that were on the action steps from that session. And now it was a group practice, so they have a lot more people working there and more clients that would book with them. But within 30 days, they actually increased their client bookings. So this is paid bookings by 30%. They had almost 90 more bookings in 30 days. And all they did was fix a couple things on the contact page. That's part of your foundations. Your website is one of the 10 marketing foundations that we look at getting in place. And so these changes happen for both of these people because they optimized and fixed up their marketing foundations. Both of them were frustrated because they weren't getting any requests for consults, one of them, and the other one was just not getting as many client bookings as they were used to. Doing some assessment and review of their foundations, we found a couple holes in their bucket of their marketing foundations. Once they were fixed up, they made a huge difference to both of them. So foundations are something that can help you effectively reach your ideal clients, but they tend to be overlooked because they're a type of marketing strategy that just isn't as interesting as getting out there and getting active on social media and doing things like doing videos or reels or doing fun posts even. But let me ask you this. Let's say you get out there and you have a reel that goes viral, even if it was a mini viral moment. Well, the folks that are liking that video because of the reason that it went viral, they're often not ideal clients. So how does that help you if more people see it? Typically, it's not going to make a huge difference. And if you don't have those marketing foundations in place, you could actually end up wasting a lot of time if something effective could be happening from that viral moment too. But those moments are few and far between for most people. I've had it happen with a couple of clients. I've had it happen with my sister, even. I've had my own moments with it. But they're not always moments that are going to get you those paying clients in your door. But they're more fun to do. And that's why people are attracted to them and they look after those versus trying to go and deal with their foundations because it just doesn't sound very interesting. It seems boring. It doesn't put any vibe or fun into someone's day when they have to go look at their website and look at some of the stuff that they're doing and try to make it work better. So that is one of the reasons why people don't bother to take the time to do this. But without those marketing foundations in place, a lot of what people end up doing with their marketing is spending time on marketing that's going nowhere. I would much rather you step back, take some time to check out your foundations, assess them, review them, fix some of them up, maybe even. And then when you start doing your marketing and putting out there online or even using some of it in person, because referral and networking are part of marketing a business as well. Well, when you've got those foundations that help people do things like get more people visiting your website, get more people signing up for your news list, getting more people to hear about you, people who need your help, people who might book a discovery call or even click and sign up for their paid initial assessment with you. That's what your marketing should be doing. But it can't do any of that. None of it will work if the supports for those foundations are broken or not even there in a lot of people's cases. So it's great that people saw your video and they saw your call to action in the reel to click the link in your bio to book a call. But what if your bio has a broken link? That's social media profiles. Foundation number 5, optimize your profiles. What if the link in your bio works, but the button on your page it takes you to doesn't click and do anything? It goes nowhere. So people don't actually have that opportunity to click the button and get on your calendar. I've seen this happen many times, that very specific thing. Well, that's part of marketing foundation number 1, your website. What if somebody sees you post this awesome reply in a Facebook group and realizes, oh, I have to work with that person. She has brilliant advice to share, and I feel like she really gets me. But your Facebook account is under a different name because you don't want to mix your Facebook personal and business. It's not connected to your business. And so when they try to reach out and send you a DM on Facebook, because that's the only way they know you and they know you under this different name, that's probably your first name and your middle name or something like that, and you're not friends with them. So that message they're trying to send you goes into a hidden messages area on Facebook, and you don't even see it till maybe 3 months later, which is when you find out that they've actually solved all of their issues with the dietitian or the clinician next door. There are lots of issues like this that happen all the time. I see it with clients, I see it with people in my academy, and they're issues that people are experiencing because their marketing foundations are broken. And they often see that things aren't working. They may not know it's the foundations, but they're out there trying to fix it by typically doing more marketing and trying other trends or ideas that they see online. But I'll tell you, you can add in every trend you want. When your foundations are still broken, you can send all the people you want to your bio to hit that link. But if nothing works after that, people are going to leave your website or leave your social media profile and look for someone else to help them, someone else whose stuff is working. You know, there's a movie that I love from 1995. I watched it a million times over and over, The American President, and it had Annette Bening in it. And, I think it was Martin Sheen. No, yes, it was Martin Sheen, but it was Michael Douglas. And to quote Sydney Ellen Wade, who I loved in the movie, that was the character Annette Bening played. What I typically would say to people here at this point is, it's great. You've done all this marketing content. You've put tons of stuff together. Well, congratulations. It's only taken you 3 months to put together all these social media posts and reels that have no hope of getting clients because your foundations were never going to let that marketing do its job in the first place. Now, I'm not trying to make you feel bad here, especially if these kinds of things have been happening to you. But I want you to understand why it's happening. And sometimes the reason you're not getting clients in your door is as simple as having a broken link. And it's all fixable. Okay. You need to remember this. You can fix all of this as long as you're prepared to step back, stop chasing that magic marketing pill that doesn't exist, and do a few checks and fix ups on the foundations that you have set up for your business or your practice. Then, when you put some time into marketing your services, you're going to find it's paying off and working. And people are going to start calling you and signing up. And the best part is, more often than not, you're not going to be having that feeling or actually doing it, burning the candle at both ends, trying to make it all work and getting burnt out from trying to do every single thing you can and do more and more marketing to try and get those clients, but it's not working. And that marketing burnout is real. I see it all the time. I hear people talk about it to me all the time. And that's when I see the hopelessness in folks. When I hear people say, I guess I have to decide if I can make this work. And if not, I'm going to need to go get a job, which is not what I want to do. And that is, I get that. That is not what any of us entrepreneurs want to do. We did not go into business to burn out. We went into business to support ourselves, support our family, typically doing the work we love and working with the kind of people we love and helping them thrive. It's why I tell everybody every time we start this, hey, private practice heroes, because a lot of my clients are in the health and wellness space. So for me, the work they do specifically is work on people's health, helping them live longer, healthier lives. But I also know that all of you service providers out there, business coaches, virtual assistants, I've still got a lot of folks that listen to me in that industry. You are all out there as well, changing lives for other people too. So you're a hero in your own way. And I want you to understand that. And I know that every one of you out there that started your own business, you don't want to go and get a job. That is not what you want to do. And there is another option to having to go get a job. You just need to figure out how to get your marketing working and how to be focusing your time on the places and the people and the kinds of marketing that is actually going to help you get those clients. You need to find the ways that are going to work for you that will bring clients to your door. And honestly, about 75%, I would say, of my Thrive Marketing Academy members, ones that have been in the program that are in it this year, were in it last year, in it since its inception in about 2020. Most of them start booking more clients as they go through the program. But I will tell you, 75% are getting them not from videos, not from reels, not from social media posts, not from spending time on social. It's their website and their messaging and knowing how to use all of that and help people find them. It's not them going out there chasing people around trying to get them to sign up. It's using things like good calls to action in their website content. And that's foundation number 4, by the way. These foundations, they really play a big part in ensuring your marketing works. And they can be easy to fix and optimize too. As I said earlier, they're not complex, they're not impossible. And here's how simple it can be. So I gave you the example earlier of the client who had 5 people reach out to book consults with her within 24 hours of doing these fix-ups. So I'm going to tell you what we fixed up here. So she had hired me to do a marketing roadmap session with her. So it's something I do with people. We do it over 2 weeks. I gave her the steps to optimize some of her foundations because during the roadmap session, I could see there were several things that she was missing that were broken. So I let her know what she needed to do to fix them up and optimize them, and she did. After our call, she went off, made the updates immediately. And when I woke up the next day, that's when I started getting this flurry of texts from her. Ultimately, what happened was within 24 hours of making those 2 fix-ups, she had 5 people reach out to ask about booking a discovery session or a consult with her. People that wanted to work with her. And she's like, where did they come from? They came out of the woodwork. No, they didn't. They were always there. They just had no way to reach her because she had 2 foundations that were broken. And what she optimized were the messaging on her website contact page. That was one thing. And she updated her personal Facebook profile to include some information that made it easy for people to contact her when they wanted to contact her about business. And that was it. That's what she fixed up. And that was all it took for 5 people to reach out in one day. And the reason it made such a difference came down to what we fixed, those 2 pieces that we fixed. Something on her website, something to do with her social media profiles, both foundations in my list of 10 marketing foundations. And both were critical to people being able to reach out to her and contact her about business. That is why she ended up having people reach out. We fixed a little bit of foundation number 1, a little bit of foundation number 5, and they were very simple fixes, by the way, and very simple things. Actually, as I think about it, it was 2 things that we fixed with her website. 1, I told her to take the button off that said coming soon because she was hiding everything because it wasn't perfect. And it was fine. It had the basics it needed to be live. And then once it was live, we could fix up the contact page so that people could actually reach out and connect with her either by phone or email. And that's all it took. These are examples that I'm trying to show you that really make it clear how easy it can be to get those right marketing foundations in place, focus on them, and how they will lead to real measurable success in attracting clients and growing your practice, your business. So now let's talk about these 10 foundations. We'll talk about what they are so you understand what they are and can make sure that you're factoring and thinking about them when it comes to marketing your own business. Let's do a quick review of what these 10 marketing foundations are. I want you to have an understanding of the scope of each one, to know where they might fit in to your business, to know whether or not you may need to be looking at those as something you have to optimize for yourself as well. So the first one that we have is foundation number 1. I've mentioned it several times. It is the most important one, if you ask me. It is your website and SEO, or search engine optimization. And it really is all about making sure you have a website, even if it's a small, simple website, a build it yourself one that you start with, and making sure that you have something that not only can help people find you online, but the search engines too. And SEO does not have to be scary, folks. With a few basic lessons, most business owners can learn what they need to help people find them online. Okay? Foundation number 2 is making sure that you set up a Google business profile if you qualify for one, and updating and optimizing any profiles you have in online directories. So some examples of this are health profs, or getting your name on insurance provider websites, associations, different groups and associations where if you're a member or part of that group and can get on the directory, that you can get your name and information there. Those are more often well optimized, much more than our own private websites. And if your information is out there, it helps people find you. Google has their business profile as well. It's changed a little bit over time. It's important for you to know that you really are only supposed to be using that if you see people in your office. And it is a really good way, though, to help get your business name in online searches and a lot more visible to people. Your third foundation is knowing your client, your offer, and your keywords. This is critical to understanding the words people use to talk about their problems, what they're looking for when they're searching for someone like you. And understanding that is going to help you a lot more to know what kind of content you should put on your website when you're putting it there, what kind of things you should say to people, what kind of things you should be writing or putting into your marketing content. So knowing your client, your offer, and your keywords is critical to being able to speak to people in their own words, so they understand that you could be the person. You get them. You might be the one that has that solution they're looking for and can help them with the problem that they have. Number 4 is creating consistent new content on your website. This is what I refer to as anchor content because I feel it anchors everything you're doing with your marketing. It's a big part of the Thrive marketing method. I teach people on how to streamline and have some systems in place for marketing their business or practice. So with number 4, it's all about making sure that you're creating consistent new content you publish on your website. Typically, we want it to be keyword-rich content and content that is meant to attract your ideal clients and get you noticed by search engines. So that's why understanding foundation number 3 is critical. It works together a lot with number 4. as well as all your other information out there too. Foundation number 5, I've talked about it a little bit in some examples here. That is having optimized social media profiles. So the idea here is that you want to make sure that you optimize your profiles for social media. I'm not saying you have to be active on them and be using every single type of social media system out there. But knowing the key ones for you, knowing what's important for you, and then making sure that they have good information so that if somebody does find your LinkedIn profile or your Facebook page, even your Instagram profile, that they know how to reach out to you from a business perspective. Okay. I'm not saying you have to get on Facebook and start being friends with everybody. I'm not saying you have to get on any social media channel and follow or connect with people. But those channels are often really well ranked with the search engines. Go out there and Google your name. I'll bet you if you put in your name and the type of business you have, one of the first things that will come up is your LinkedIn profile, if you have it optimized really well. That's why they're important. Your LinkedIn profile, when it's optimized, has ways to connect to your business. So that's how people can reach out to do business with you. That's why it's an important thing. Again, I'm not saying you got to be on every channel and be active all over the place on social media, but it can help people find you as part of your digital footprint. Foundation number 6 is analytics and stats tracking and having those set up. Knowing things like, how do people get to your website? What kind of traffic do you have going on? How did they find you in the first place? These are some of the things that can help you. Recently, I was on a call with somebody and she was feeling like she doesn't have as many clients as she had about 6 months ago, but she isn't tracking any of her marketing stats in the way of having analytics that she can look at and see what is happening to the traffic. What was the change? It's just a feeling she has right now. But if you can get analytics set up so that you can look and read the reports, it's not like writing a thesis. It's not like taking a master's program. It's fairly simple when you get someone to explain it to you and show you how easy it is to understand. So often people avoid it thinking it's too complicated and too techy for them. But the information you can get from that is so valuable. It is information that helps you know and understand, well, are you really having a problem there? Is it something else? Because the numbers will often tell you a different story. I do have a free marketing stats tracking template if you want to get started with that, and I'll put a link to that in the show notes as well. Now, foundations 7 and 8 often are very connected. Number 7 is having an email marketing system and a list. An email list is an asset for any business. It's a collection of names and emails, typically people who wanted something you had to offer. So they're pre-qualified, they're warm leads, and you own them. You do not own all of your contacts on social media. So you always want to be building a list of names and emails. And no matter what you think of email marketing and newsletters, it does work. It typically brings about a 4 times ROI over almost any other type of marketing channel. As you're building your email list, those are names and emails that you have as an asset in your business. Some people, when they go to sell their business, when they move on, they have more value in their business because of their email list. So it is important that you think about having that kind of system set up so that you can collect names and emails. And that's where foundation number 8 comes into play, having a lead generation system. So having some sort of way to generate leads of people who will add their name and email and get on your email list. So having a lead magnet, something free to offer them that is ideally set up so that it is something your ideal clients want to have and want the information for. And getting this set up on your website where people can sign up for it is important. But it is not something that everybody has to have because everybody's not in the same place and it may not be as relevant for you. And that's something I'm going to talk about here in a second too. Because I often find that everybody thinks that no matter what somebody tells them, you have to have all of these things in place. There are some of these foundations I will tell people, no, you don't need this one now. You don't need this one. Yes, you definitely want to have this one. So just keep that in mind as we go through this list here. Number 8 was the lead generation system. That's kind of how you're finding leads and connections in the online world. Sometimes it's in the offline world too, because if you're at an event or a conference, you might collect names that way, but more manually. You could also be at a show where you have a table or a booth and you have a sign up list. So, those are other ways that people can get on your email list and become a lead. But foundation number 9 is a bit of offline marketing. And that's where we talk about referral generation plans. So, having a plan to connect with potential referral partners and sources. This is another path, another foundation people often avoid or don't want to have because it typically means doing things manually. It means connecting with people, getting on the phone with them, or even worse, meeting them in person and trying to talk to them and build those relationships that might become a way for getting new clients. And a lot of times, I'll be honest, this can often be one of the best sources of new clients for people. So if you have some connections like that, you want to make sure that you're nurturing those relationships and even seeking out new ones and creating more of them there. Some clients of mine have often had more clients come from this than they ever do from any other type of system. So having some sort of system and plan for that offline marketing, it might be networking and getting out to events, but having something in play to make that happen is key as well. And then foundation number 10 is really all about creating a content marketing plan and having the systems in place that will tie everything together, guide you on what to say, where to say it, when to say it, how often you're going to say it. And this is what's going to save you the most time with your marketing. Some folks like me love spreadsheets. Some like Trello or Asana boards to organize this, Word, Google Docs. There might be lots of different ways. I personally, in my content marketing systems, use a combination of Dropbox, Google, and Word files. Yeah, I think we use Word files too, and lots of spreadsheets. So there are different ways to do this, but once you have a plan and a system in place, you're typically going to start saving a ton of time when it comes to your marketing there. Those plans and systems will stop you from doing all the random acts of marketing. It will stop confusion, last minute posting, and also helping you make sure that what you're doing is more effective and not a waste of your time. So those systems and the plan are going to be the biggest thing that will help you with time saving. Now, when you look back at that list of 10 items, I hope that there's nothing on there that doesn't seem like it's doable for you. It's really all about learning how to simplify it. A lot of this isn't complicated. You can get things going very easy. But for some people, they think it's almost like building, trying to figure out how do you build Stonehenge or build the pyramids. This is not as complicated as that. And I personally believe marketing doesn't have to be complicated for people, and it shouldn't take you hours a day to do either. But again, do you have to have all 10 of these foundations in place? No, but you should be doing an assessment on your 10 foundations and deciding, yes, no, I need to have it here. And if you've got a no there, really try to think about why you're saying no. Is it no because it's too hard for you to figure out? Or is it no because it actually isn't going to be relevant for your business? That's a very different story. Not all 10 of these are for all people or all businesses. And never let anyone, not even me, tell you that you need to do all of the things that are out there because it may not be right for you. Not every business out there needs to have every single one of these foundations in place. But you do need to know what they are and how they could potentially help you and how they could work in your business to support your goals. I do have a free checklist for these 10 foundations on my website that you can download, and it's at pepperitmarketing.com/free checklist. I will put a link to that in the show notes. So whatever app you're listening to the podcast on, look at the description. The link will be there. You might not be able to click it. Some of them don't show up as clickable links, but at the very least, you can copy and paste the URL online to access it. And take a look at it and really decide and think about them. Are these things that I need in place or not? And if you're not sure what they are, that's where I would say get a little help to get a bit of a review if you need that. I offer a free marketing review as part of the podcast here. I'll put a link to where you can book that free review with me. So if you're not sure what your foundations are, and if you do need to do some fixing up with them or not, and you just have no idea what to think about when it comes to these and your business, book that call with me. It is part of something I do as part of the podcast, but it's also a way for you to get some free marketing strategy from me. And let me help guide you a little bit when it comes to these 10 foundations. So I will put a link in the show notes where you can book that free review with me. And yes, it really is free. The price for that is just you being brave enough to come and talk to me about your business, knowing that I'm going to put it out here as an episode on my podcast so that other people can learn from it as well. So don't let that scare you off of getting some help. My real message for you here today is that I just hope you take a look at these 10 foundations. And as unassuming as they might seem, understand they can make a world of difference when it comes to your marketing. They can help your business and support your marketing so that you start spending a lot less time, stop wasting energy, stop wasting money, and actually attracting more clients to your business. So, now that you have an idea of what these 10 foundations are and how they can help and why they're essential for the success of your practice or your business, what are you going to do with this here? I've got a couple quick action steps for you. Number one, grab the free marketing foundations checklist I mentioned, and then block an hour this week to assess your own foundations, see what you have in place, see what ones you don't have, and then look at them and decide what ones are relevant for you, what ones aren't. And it's got a little box where you can check it all off so you can literally make it a checklist and look at it and think about the ones you might want to add in if you don't have them, and how you can use them and improve and create a more effective marketing strategy for you. Because I promise some of these foundations are not only going to streamline what you're doing and save you time, but they're going to help you see results and make some changes that in some cases, like the case of that one client of mine, are more immediate. I mean, even the client that had the group practice and saw an increase of 90 bookings in 30 days, that's a very big and fast result, if you ask me. And that's what I want for you. I want you to have the results that you're thinking you should be having with your marketing actually happening to you. And it is all about stepping back to start planning and thinking about this. That is a strategy I talked about in episode 33 of my podcast. I call it the step back to start planning strategy. And it can make a real big difference in the results that you're seeing, especially if you're someone who has some of these foundations in place, but they're broken. You want to make sure they're fixed up before you spend any more time and throw any more money after doing more marketing that may not work for you at all. Those foundations will support everything you do when it comes to your marketing. And they're going to help you do things like get shown in results when people are searching for somebody like you online. It's all about focusing your time on the type of marketing that is going to lead you to the growth and success you're after, versus just doing all of the different trends and fun things you might see online. I'm not saying you can't go have fun. But if you're going to spend 2 hours a day making videos for Instagram, you better be getting a really good ROI on that. Otherwise, you're just throwing time and money out the door. So remember, you can grab that checklist on my website. It is going to be a link in the show notes, and I will put a link in there as well to where you can book the free marketing review with me if you want to do that as well. I also have a quiz on the foundation. So if you'd rather try doing a quiz first and see where you land when it comes to your foundations, you'll actually get the checklist as part of the follow-up after you take the quiz too. So there'll be links to all of that in the show notes. And that's it for today, folks. I hope this lesson on the first pillar of marketing your practice, the foundations, and there are 10 of them, got you thinking a little bit more. So if you're somebody who's been seeing a decline in clients, seeing a decline in website traffic, leads, people booking calls, even referrals, don't panic. Start assessing the situation and try to determine what is going wrong. Where are the holes in your foundations? That might be what you need to check first and fix some of them up. Because some of those simple fixes, like I said earlier, can make a huge difference in the results that you're getting. And please reach out if you want a little help figuring this out. That's my superpower as a hero, helping my clients. I try to make sure none of you are going down rabbit holes and starting to do marketing activities that are not going to help you and are not needed. This is Kathy Colaiacovo signing off for the day. Thanks for tuning in. I really appreciate so much the time that you take listening to my advice. I hope you put it into play and take at least a nugget away every episode. And I'm going to leave you with this today. Remember, to thrive in practice or business starts by making sure you have the foundations in place so that your marketing is going to be effective. There is no magic pill out there. There's no injectable that will seemingly make life all better there. There's no easy button that will do all of that. The best way to do it is good old-fashioned work and taking the time to step back and start planning. And I'll see you next time. You can find all of our show notes and resources mentioned at marketingyourprivatepractice.com. Be sure to connect with me on Instagram at pepperitmarketing and say hi. I'd love to hear any feedback you have, and make sure to rate and review the podcast and hit subscribe on your favorite player so you don't miss any future episodes.